Hello everybody, I'm Michael Brown from Montgomery College Television, and I'll be your moderator today. We're on the Rockville campus and we're in the Theater Arts Arena. We have lots of room over here, so if you're nearby, you're watching online, why don't you come on over and join us, because Dr. Pollard is very excited to be hosting her final town hall meeting of the academic year today. Now, as I said, I'm her moderator. Dr. Pollard and I like to joke a little bit that I'm sort of Scottie Pippen to her Michael Jordan.
But I didn't get married this weekend. He got married again. Did you see that?
That's right. He got married again this weekend in the world's biggest tent or something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, but my main job, aside from being Scottie Pippen to her Michael Jordan, is to make sure that she stays focused on your questions and we get to as many questions as we can during the time we have today. If you're watching online, you can send those questions at any time to townhall@montgomerycollege.edu. Sorry about that, folks. townhall@montgomerycollege.edu. And again, we're going to try to get to as many questions as we can during the time we have. One favor, please try to keep your questions short, and please introduce yourself or identify yourself before you ask your question. So without further ado, here's Dr. Pollard.
Thank you very much, Scotty. I'm excited to be here yet again for the last town hall meeting of this academic year. Happy to be at the Rockville campus. We spread these around over the course of the semester. I think we actually started at the Rockville campus in the Godelski building, and we're ending at the Rockville campus here at Theater Arts. Very happy to be here. Hope you all stay dry in the midst of the spring showers. And I was talking with some of the folks earlier. We were talking about all the stuff that's happening at the college right now as we move toward the end of the semester. Of course, athletics, they were telling me that our baseball team is doing phenomenally well. Our track and field is doing very good as well. I heard our math team at Germantown won the math competition. What else is happening that I need to know of? Anything else happening? Big time?
5 students were selected for the NIST Summer Undergraduate Research.
Excellent. 5 students were selected. I think, are we the only community college that they select students from?
There are probably a few others, but it's the first time we've had more than one in the summer.
That, I think, is very exciting. So 5 of our students, congratulations. Very exciting. So we have a series of, the way this typically works, I sometimes offer introductory comments. I'm not going to do that because we have a lot of questions. So I just want to say welcome. You all feel free to ask questions. At the same time, I know several have already been sent in, and there'll probably be more coming in on the E-line. So let's go to you, Mike.
Anyone in the room would like to start? Nope. Okay, we'll go to an online question. This is actually a remainder question from State of the College.
Oh, okay.
And this is from Nancy Newell. And her question is, you have highlighted a number of ways in which the college is leading the way in responding to imperatives in higher education. What are the most significant constraints to innovation that Montgomery College faces, and how can we as a community respond in an affirmative and urgent way to those constraints?
Love, Nancy. That's a great question. Several things I think have probably come forefront when I think about that question. One is actually something we have no control over in terms of innovation. It's the rapid nature of which time is accelerating the way in which change is occurring. I shared in the State of the College that Al Gore just has this new book out, former Vice President Al Gore, where he talks about the 6 technology drivers that are affecting change. But he starts off in the preamble to the book really talking about this idea of hyper change, that in a period that we're living in right now, that the idea of change has become so accelerated, it creates dissonance for us, literally because the idea that here's something you could have done that may have taken 6 months to accomplish. Right now, with the click of a couple buttons, it can happen in minutes, if not seconds. So how do we begin to respond to that? The human brain, technically, he would argue, doesn't always have capacity to be able to deal with that type of dissonance that quickly. That being said, I think there are things we can do to help prepare that. I think part of it is to just be accepting the fact that that environment is happening. But I also think for me that I spend a lot of time in, and it's actually become very important now, talking with lots of people at the college about how we manage change, how we begin to manage innovation in a way that seems structured, that you still have a space and place for randomness to occur, but at the same time, how do you honor where we have been and at the same time point to where we need to go as an organization? I've been spending a lot of time, and I know that's actually my summer project, is to actually think about that a little bit more, about how we structure and design change and innovation in a way. Part of the other thing I think we have to, in order to do this, is to create spaces where play can occur. You all know I have a 6-year-old, and I had the pleasure, Robin had a girls' weekend this weekend, so I had him all weekend to myself. And I actually say that because as a parent who is not the primary caregiver, this was fun to actually be the primary caregiver from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And we played hooky together on Friday. It was really fun. But what I would tell you about all of that is that to watch him play was interesting. At some point, I was irrelevant. He had his little Spider-Man, he had his sword, he had his games, he had his books, he had his, I mean, you name it, and he could just play. And it was fun. At the end, every half an hour, Mama, did you know that such and such and such could occur? Would you like to be in a time and space where you blink your eyes and you'd be in another place? Wouldn't that be really cool? And I thought just watching him play and how the thoughts were coming to him. So I keep thinking, if we really want to have innovation within our organization, how do we create spaces just to play? Where it's high risk and low risk at the same time, where failure is okay, where something that's truly innovative and out of the box is okay as well. That to me is what I spend a lot of time thinking about. But I think the only thing we ever really are constrained by is, one, the ability to respond to change as rapidly as we have, our own recognition that change is occurring, and how do we respond to that, and how innovation can occur, but also at the same time to create safe places for us to have that type of play that we need to have in order to really create the innovation of the future. And I think we are doing a lot of that at the college. Go ahead.
Any questions from the room? Okay, let's go with another online question. This is from Monica Brown and Stephanie Moifo.
Okay.
I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Okay.
It's a two-part question. Dr. Pollard, what is being done about the textbook issue at the college? For instance, if you take Biology 204 at Germantown and take 205 at Rockville, they make you buy the new lab and textbook as well, even though it's a continuation of the other class. And a related question from a student Dr. Pollard just met, what do we do to ensure student textbooks and lab manuals are quality?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting that the first part of that question is really at the heart of the academic reorganization, which I know is a delicate subject for a lot of us from the college community, but let's be very real about this. I had a student, we had a student constituency conversation with the board, and I had a student at my table who launches into this descriptor about the fact that she is a pre-med, she's already graduated from Montgomery College, but she's coming back to take additional courses. And she described the fact that she's trying to take an upper level physics and an upper level biology class, and is unable to do so because at the Germantown campus they're at the same day and time. So she was trying to then stagger, so well, let me come down to Rockville and take it. Well, guess what? They're at the same day and time. And she said, well, I don't have gas money to get to Tacoma Park campus. Very real. I don't have gas money to get back and forth to take this class. She said, wouldn't it be more ideal for them to coordinate the schedule across the campuses? And I just looked at her. She said, and here's my other issue. She said, the textbook. She said, if I happen to take this class at the Germantown campus, there's no guarantee when I take the second part of the sequence that I'm going to be able to use the same textbook. So of course, I tried to allay her concerns and talked about our library and our learning centers that have resources you can check out. But at the core of that, that's a problem for me. That's a real problem. If we are indeed one institution, a student should have a continuity of the learning experience, and the textbook is primary to that. So one of the challenges we have is, as an organization, kind of going back to the first question about innovation and alignment, let's talk about the fact that what is the student experience? We want to preserve academic integrity. We want to preserve academic freedom. We want a faculty member to identify the resources that are best able to teach the course that he or she is teaching. But at the end of the day, it's about the students as well, most importantly. So how do we ensure a student has a continuity of instruction and that they also have the continuity in terms of the resources there? Sometimes these textbooks are as much as their classes. So it's completely unfair. The student buys, was it chemistry was the example? Buys the biology, buys it for the first section, is unable to use it when the course is designed as such. That's a problem. Now, part of our job is having to name what those problems are, and the second part is have the courage to address them, right? The other part about this, it was amazing. The student just walked in here and said, I heard the president is talking over the noon hour. And they said, well, yeah. She said, well, I want to say something. I said, well, I don't do anonymous. Actually, Beth was, she didn't do anonymous questions. She said, well, I'll come back at the end of the semester. Now, the student didn't know who I was. So I was sitting right there next to Beth on the seat. And she said, well, she said, Beth, so what do you want to ask her about? And she said, I really want to talk about these textbooks. She said, you know, I've got this lab, and I won't disclose the course because I want to honor her privacy. But she said, it's full of errors. One is a textbook, a lab manual that we produce from, we buy from a publisher. She said, and the department knows there's a problem, but this is in the 9th edition and we're still using this textbook. So now we had students and faculty sitting down to talk about it. She said, but this other one is one that we produce at the institution ourselves, which is a lab manual or something from a faculty member has taught or prepared, and we're selling it, and it's full of errors. It's inconsistent with what I'm learning in the classroom about translation and verb tenses and all this kind of thing. And I thought, wow. I said, you know what? She said, can I come and talk to you? I said, yeah, come and talk to me at the end of the semester when you feel confident and able to do it, because I don't like to just sit up here and say, here's a book and here's an example. I want to be able to walk in to have somebody say, here's a real example of what a student experience is about. Those are the types of conversations we have to be willing to engage in, because here's the thing about it, our students are talking about it. I don't know if any last time y'all been on the college's Facebook page. I encourage you to do that. Go on Yelp and look at the college's feedback. Very interesting sometimes to do that. These are folks who are talking about the college in very real ways. Very powerful things to say about what we do well. We place our students in NIST, and they have 5 students there. We're winning math competitions. We're doing great work in athletics and all these types of things, and all over across the institution. But they'll also help point to some areas where we have some significant issues to address. So it goes back to innovation at the first question, our courage, capacity to respond to them. That's what we have to do. You have a question
back here.
Thank you so much for today. My name is Eric Chavino. I'm taking one of the biology classes, and I was hoping that I would hear a little more information from you forthcoming about what your action or plans would be to carry out to this cumbersome problem that we're in. I have the lab manual examples. This one here is produced by the college. The last time it was put together in 1986. 2013, that's a huge gap. The information in here, half of it I have to draw it out because they no longer use it. And also this one from 1980 sometime. We're still using it. 2013, there are a lot more talking about technology. You could use online based. College could produce it, but we don't. The textbooks, exactly, cost of course, close to $400 by the time I'm finished with all the materials. Now I'm in the same predicament. I'm taking part 1 here, part 2, because of timing, I have to go to Tacoma Park. I have to buy a new textbook.
Wow.
I haven't heard from you. I was hoping you would address that, especially from your State of Union, saying this is a problem, we need to remedy it. I was hoping today I would hear from you saying by starting of the new semester, we will come to some kind of conclusion. When I went to the department head, they said, we can't do anything about it because no one could have come to agreement that their particular department is better or stronger or inflexible. You as a president, I was hoping putting the students at first would come to our defense. It's like we need to come to it before the fall semester starts, so all students are aligned, all the courses are aligned. And that's what I would like to hear from you today.
Unfortunately, I can't say that, and I'm going to tell you why I can't say that, and I'll be very honest with you. It disturbs me greatly. Now, here, the irony about this is that I had no idea you were in the audience, didn't even know the examples. This is just based on a student who walked in here a little while ago. This is an epidemic issue at the institution. And we're raising the conversations, but we have to address it. To me, there are different types of change. There's a change that, you know, and you'll see oftentimes you put a Band-Aid on something and it's still bleeding and it's still, the illness is still there. The cut, the wound is still there. But to me, I'm much more thoughtful about trying to address it systematically. And part of our problem here at the organization is that we have to address a very significant issue about structure. Who's accountable and who's responsible for decision making, and then who has the ability to sit down and have direct conversations with the faculty and say, you know what, here's a very big issue that our students have presented to us. How do we begin to address this? And really have our faculty take the ownership of that. That really is their issue to take, and it's a curriculum one. It's not one that I want to interfere in. There are presidents across the country who have mandated certain types of things that relates to sequence courses exactly for the reason that you've mentioned. I've avoided doing that because I don't think that's the way to get buy-in. I don't think it truly creates change that's owned by the institution, but there's systematic ways in which you go about doing it, and we're doing that. Part of that is as a student, you may not be aware, we are going through a process of looking at the organizational structure of the institution, and part of that is to create greater alignment and continuity across departments, regardless of the campus or location. That's a very big issue we're looking at. And then who ultimately is going to be responsible for that type of decision making? That being the dean, an associate dean, a department chair, to have substantive conversations about that. What I want to do is that every time we have a conversation, they should start off a meeting by having a student like you or the one who walked in here a few minutes ago be in the room to talk about what their experience is, because it's very easy to talk about this in abstract, about what we think to be true without talking about the real students' scenarios that are there. The other thing that I would tell you, though, is that a change does occur. And it may not be something you see immediately by this fall. The best example I can give you is that we have a discipline at the college who is doing some very hard work this year and actually had a very difficult time engaging in the work about looking at the terms of his credit and how it is laid out. I had a student who met with me right before 2 weeks ago who came to tell me, well, I know that you're making these changes in our AELP program. Will it be in effect this fall, and how will it affect me? And I said, you know what? I said, it won't affect you. The changes will be in place this fall. The faculty and the program are working together, but sometimes you plant a seed. And if you're very lucky, that you may not be the beneficiary. It doesn't bring you comfort right now, doesn't help your wallet right now, doesn't help you in your situation right now, but it plants a seed. And just by you saying that, all the people in this room bear witness to what you said. All the people watching on here and there, they bear witness to it. And at some point, we have to have the capacity at the organization to address the issues that are there, which I think we have. It's a process of trying to figure out with a complex and large organization how we do it. But thank you for your courage, and thank you for the very real examples you just gave. It takes a lot to do it, so thank you.
Another question in the room? All right, we have, sticking with student questions.
Okay.
Staying on that theme, this one comes from Jeremy Hirsch. He's an accounting student. He starts out with a statement, I am a ginormous fan, that's his word, of the extensive variety of art productions here. Is there a growth plan for the arts at MC for the next several years? And is MC planning for growth in general to handle increasing popularity in this economy?
What a great question. The answer to that is I don't know. But I can find out. I have the college-wide Dean of the Arts sitting in front of me, and one of the things that she and I can talk about is the growth, to see if that experience of that student correlates to the enrollments we're seeing in the arts. I don't know that. We need to look at that type of data. I know that one of the things we're having to do as an institution is do some strategic planning around these issues, and we're having very substantive conversations, I think, about the way we want students to experience the organization, very thoughtful about enrollment trends and patterns and how we begin to plan accordingly for that. But I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that, Deb, not to put you on the spot.
I'm not sure which of the arts areas the student's interested in, because I can say
Theater and music.
Theater and music. Yeah, well, we expand those programs as much as enrollment allows. We have not seen huge increases in enrollment in theater, but we have seen some. At this point in terms of expansion, what we really like to do is see more on Tacoma Park and Germantown campus, which has gotten a little bit easier on Tacoma Park because we have new facilities. It's still a little tricky at Germantown, but we are always looking for partnerships in the community that will allow us to offer more arts programming even when we don't have the facilities right there on campus. So we're glad to hear that students want that to expand. That's great information for me to have, and so we will keep working on it.
Thank you. I'm excited about the Wiz this summer. I think that was my first musical I ever saw. And I still remember, my dad, I was probably 6 or 7, it was my birthday, and he got my sister and I these like mini baby tuxedos to wear, and we went to the Millionaires Club to have dinner before, and I had a kiddie cocktail. I still remember this vividly, and then we went to see The Wiz. And I remember just being, it was an experience, and that,
It changed your
it changed, well, I tell you, the arts and libraries changed my life. I say it all the time.
Any other questions in the room before I go to another online question? Okay, sticking with student questions.
Yes.
This one is from TFRAZ21.
Okay.
Okay, interesting name. Can student workers expect to see a raise within the next year?
I don't know that. What I can tell you is that this year when we did the budget, we designed the budget around 2 things, one being our employees and that being our students. So as you know, we will not be increasing tuition for the college next year. Hopefully that will calculate to some type of savings for our students as well. And we also have built into the budget an increase in salary for our employees, that being those who bargain collectively with us and those who do not as well. All employees will experience that. I don't know how that works with student workers. I would probably assume that there will be, but I can find that out and follow up with TS00 or whatever it is.
Okay, all right. Another question from the room? Okay, they're waiting.
That's all right.
You know, they're just, yeah. This is from an online question from Tanya Powell. Okay. She says, good afternoon, actually, good morning. Well, it actually is afternoon, isn't it? Good afternoon, Dr. Pollard. During the State of the College, you spoke about funds for professional development. Will our EAP funds be increased so that we can attend additional outside educational workshops, courses, etc., or will there be additional professional development opportunities offered at the college, or both?
Yes to both. We did increase, as a result of our collective bargaining agreements, we did increase our EAP allocations for next year, including the ability to add more money to travel for college employees. I think it went from 500 to 1,000, I believe. In addition to that, we will be increasing, and I think in more concentrated format, the types of offerings that we offer through professional development. That's important. We know we don't want everybody to be trained to death, right? But we do want to have people that have the opportunity to take professional development courses as they see fit for their career, both here and elsewhere. So that's a very important thing. So yes and yes, Ms. Tanya Powell.
A double yes. All right, this one comes from Carissa. She leaves her email as Karma7186. Can you address the loss of temps and what services may be available to help them in their job search?
Yeah, the temps is, this is a very delicate situation at the organization. I know it's one that causes a lot of stress for some people. What we have done, and I'll go back a couple of years, in our efforts to be very thoughtful about the resources that the county and state have invested in us, instead of filling a number of full-time positions or permanent positions here at the institution, what we did is we created a growing dependence on temps to do that work. And as a result of that, the very nature of temp means that they are temporary. They're contingent workers who work based on the need of the organization. But what we hadn't done is in many cases discontinued our dependence on them. So we will have a person who has been a temp or a temp with benefits for years within the organization, so much so that many of them actually forgot they were temporary employees. They were employees who were at the college on a permanent basis. There have been some changes in IRS law that do not allow us to continue doing that. In addition to that, the Affordable Health Care Act is also having a considerable impact on the organization in terms of what we can and cannot do. That being said, there are certain criteria by which the organization can hire temporaries now. There's a format in terms of what they can do and what they can't do, how long they can work and how long they can't work. There's a whole process that's been communicated to, I believe, supervisors and administrators on multiple occasions. We're notifying those employees as well so they can know that they are no longer going to be in that position. We are also through HRED doing a number of workshops on resume building, helping people do some individual coaching on that. We're also being very thoughtful about how we can in the next year, I keep calling it a grand bargain. Steve and I in terms of strategy or thinking about how we kind of bring all these disparate parts together. We have a need for more employees in many areas, but we're seeing an enrollment leveling off. We're also at the same time having this position number issue. Every employee of the college has a number, and we are limited in terms of the number, so we have to go back and ask the board for more numbers. We have an impact on that, which is why we worked around and created temps, because we didn't have to have numbers for them. We just had to have we had money for them. So we're trying to figure out how you put all this together in a way that I can go to the board and say, board, we need more money, and we need more people, but I have to be able to demonstrate where I'm going to take it from. And that's a very significant conversation in the midst of all these environmental or external drivers that are affecting us right now. Namely, as I said, changes in IRS law, changes in our Affordable Health Care Act as well. And also increased demands by many contingent workers who are particularly unionized, our adjunct faculty, to create more permanent roles for them as well within an organization. All of these things come together in one.
Questions in the room? Okay. This comes from a student. They did not leave their name, but we understand that when you heard about this question, you decided you wanted to go for it.
Yeah, it piqued my curiosity, because it said it's from a student, but when you hear it, I'll be curious to see what you all say.
Yeah. It's a long one.
Yeah, I know.
As a student attending MC, my primary goal is to obtain a quality education which will suitably prepare me as I move on to a four-year institution. It is with this in mind that I compose the following. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2010, the annual median wage of a physicist or astronomer with a PhD was $105,000. Mathematicians with master's degrees earned $99,000. Mechanical engineers with bachelor's degrees earned $78,000 a year, while associate professors at MC earned an average of $51,000 per year. Getting to the point of these statistics, in a STEM-focused community like MC, and with an ever-increasing need for STEM students, why isn't more money being allocated to MC to assure that top talent, in terms of professors, is attracted to and retained at Montgomery College?
That's a gifted student, is it not? I love having, we do have some exceptional students, but I don't know if the $51,000, literally, just so you all know, those of you in the audience and those of you online, when I walk in, typically 10 or 15 minutes ahead, I'll get the questions to kind of look at them. And one of them, this one, normally, because I've learned my lesson, I don't answer anonymous questions. I'm not going to do that anymore. But this one kind of piqued my curiosity. And I said, you know, I'll go ahead and do this one because it raises lots of things that may or may not be accurate in the question. So one is, I don't know if $51,000 is the average salary for an associate faculty member here. I would venture the wage is probably not correct number. And I see some deans who do hiring saying that is not the case. So that's the starting salary is 51. I don't think our average salary is that, and we certainly have many more at the higher end of the spectrum. That being said, two things struck me about the question. One is that, as I said earlier, we have identified in our budget this year two things that are very important to us as an institution, our students and our people. So as I said, we're keeping tuition. We built a budget around tuition flat for this next year. We've also built a budget where we are creating over the next 2 years approximately 11% salary increases for all employees. That's about talent. It's about our people. We know that our employees over the last several years have not seen an increase to base. They got a small bonus last year. We know that's not enough. We also know that if folks are planning to retire, they need to start adding to their base. So as a result of that, we wanted to be able to do that. And the board, I think, was very courageous. We got out there before a lot of folks in the community and other groups are doing this. And we said this is our commitment over the next 2 years. We're doing that. And I'm very proud to work for a board that recognizes that. I would also say that we have another parallel track as well. In order to look at talent management and the way in which this writer suggests, it's bigger than just salaries. It's about the environment in which people work in. It's about the work and the commitments the organization makes to them and the commitments they make to the organization. So we had a group, I want to say 20-some people, if I remember counting, who worked on this common employee experience. They've sent me a recommendation last week, oh no, 2 weeks ago, because I was out last week. And I'm very excited about that because they basically offer 5 statements or goals about what every employee should be able to experience at this organization. And I'm actually going to take it to the board in June and have them talk about this, because this is a commitment that if we say we want to do these things for professional development, for salary, for culture, for climate, all these different types of things, it requires a commitment. So for me, I think that we are an institution that's committed to its employees. We're looking at talent very thoughtfully. We're trying to do some things in an environment that is very difficult, but we're doing it. And the last thing I would offer, while we are indeed a STEM-rich county, the English faculty member in me would offer that we need chemists and scientists and engineers, but we also need poets, we need sociologists, we need teachers. So I always will support a salary scale that has equity in it. We are not an organization where we pay engineers more to come work here. That's not the way in which we had designed our salary schedule, and I don't think it's the way that we should. But at the same time, if we make that move as an organization to look at that, that would be something I'd have a hard time supporting.
Questions in the room? Ah, here we go.
That was Enu's question, wasn't it? I knew it was.
Stand up, please, and I'll hold the mic.
Okay, the massive open online courses, I know that you are very attractive about this one, and I don't want to talk about that on today.
Yeah, I'll talk. I do want to talk about that one. Don't want to put it, can I respond to something you just said though at the beginning?
Sure.
Because it's interesting. I heard through the rumor grapevine that the president wanted this done, and therefore we were doing it. So let me be very clear about this. That was not the case. We had a faculty presentation to the board, and a faculty member talked about the fact that she wanted to do this. And at that point, and she was actually in the process of working to do it. And I said, well, hey, because many of you have heard, I was actually a MOOC dropout. I didn't do very good because it requires a level of, what's what I'm looking for? Discipline that I did not have in that time. So I actually did not complete my class on game theory, which I started. So there is a part about that that's very real. So I be very clear about that, because I heard there was a big memo that the president wants this done and da-da-da. I said, no, the president didn't want that. Y'all, people forward stuff to me all the time, just so y'all know. And I said, no, it's not me. So this is a faculty-driven initiative, and my perspective is get out of the way. Let them try it. If it fails, it fails, but let somebody try it. So there you go.
But that wasn't my question.
I know, that was mine. That was my comment to
you.
you.
I still wanted to hear your comment about that. But it's a buzzword.
Yes, it is.
And when I see the distance education at the Montgomery College, the percentage of courses we offer online is very low compared to the other colleges. I mean, I believe it's about 4% or 5% of courses are offered online. What's your opinion on that? Should we be very aggressive and offer more online courses in all disciplines? Or would you think that that is not the right way to pursue our education at this college?
So thank you for the question. I'm of the opinion that we should be trying to do more, and here's the reason why. We know that there are different ways and modalities in which students learn, and we have to create the opportunity for them to experiment and try that. A lot of our students are taking, here's the irony about that, they're taking courses at Montgomery College face-to-face, but they're supplementing that with online courses from all these competitors that we have that are out there. We are a landlocked institution. The only campus that still has land is Germantown. Rockville is surrounded by space, and y'all know, every time I come to Rockville, we need more space, we need more parking, right? Go to Tacoma Park. Bless his Lord. Dr. Yates was already over there a couple weeks ago trying to deal with renovating an existing building, let alone adding another building to Tacoma Park. That'd be like 2 county council meetings you'd have to go to for that, city council meetings. And then Germantown's the only place where we actually have space, all right? So we're gonna have to be thinking about, in my opinion, how you begin to, again, expand our capacity for delivery of instruction, but what's the venue in which we do that? Online is a very obvious one. Do we look at completely online courses? There are a number of students who would be successful in that. I remember when I first started teaching, we were moving to online, and I remember this was probably in the mid-90s, give or take, the first online courses were coming. The attrition rates were so high, retention was awful. I mean, you knew that you would start off a class with 40 students in it. You'd be lucky if you ended with 15. You knew that. The numbers are very different right now because We've gone better in terms of how we deliver the instruction. We have better support systems for that. We have better training for faculty who deliver those courses. And the students are much more sophisticated now. Again, looking at our children now, they work online all the time. They expect everything to be delivered online. So we have to have a substantive conversation about that. The other thing that I would offer to you, and I think this is an important conversation, if someone says we should not be doing that, then I like to have the dialogue about it. But what we have are kind of like these truths that are out there, and we never debate them. So we should not be doing X because we know this about developmental students. Do we know that about all developmental students? Do we know them about developmental students who are coming to us now? Do we know about how we can design a learning experience that might meet them someplace? We shouldn't be doing this right now because we've never done it that way. Or I think, DeRionne, it was that button you gave me, you had I can't remember the button you gave me, something. That to me is unacceptable response, right? The response has to be, I'm concerned about these groups of students, and therefore, let's figure out how we meet them where they are and get them where they want to be. That's the conversation I think we have to have. And if we have data that supports why we shouldn't be doing something, yet let's use the data and not just use opinion and hyperbole. Let's actually use the data to make those decisions and then figure out how we move to a place where we can support them. So that's a long answer to say, yes, we should be trying out MOOCs, not because I said it, but because folks want to do it. But the other part about that, we should be trying to look in delivery of more online courses. The question I would ask you all also too in our enrollment management strategy, who owns online courses? Yeah, I talk about tradition there. I mean, so I think this is kind of amazing. I heard one campus wanted to offer something in a discipline online, but it couldn't because another campus said that they owned that online. And that kind of struck me as odd. Right? I just put the question out there. It strikes me as odd. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have a question from Judy Ackerman.
Judy!
Vice President and Provost of the Rockville campus. And her question is, we're completing our first year of a new governance system at MC. Each governance group will have an opportunity to evaluate how it went. As a campus leader, I have enjoyed having more voices at the campus table, she says. What are the positives you saw with this system, and what do you hope are the next steps in its development?
Thank you, Dr. Ackerman, for the question. Several things. One is I would argue and offer the same point. It was very interesting to see different voices at the table. I was amazed when I read the minutes, because I read the minutes from the different groups when they get posted, which is a whole other subject, right? I read the minutes, I'll talk to the leadership about what's happening there, and to see different faces and voices be contributing to the conversation was very important, I think. To have people describe a greater level of awareness in certain areas, I thought that was very interesting. To watch leadership development. It's been very interesting to watch the officers of those various groups and how they decide what their responsibility is in terms of taking information to their group, bringing information from their group. That to me has been very interesting to watch and to really think about that next set of folks who are going to step into the spaces where these 100 folks are retiring or leaving. These are some of the folks who are going to be doing that. How to engage them, I think, has been very interesting. The other thing is that we actually have put some things in the system that didn't exist before. We asked our governance groups to review almost every policy before it went to the board and had some very substantive feedback that actually had us review and think about differently some of the wording that we put before the board. Very good conversations. We're asking them to give us feedback on things such as opening week, January week, and closing meeting. How do we begin to think about those differently in a way that makes sense? There are some other things that we're going to put into the system next year to have people give very thoughtful feedback about it. So for me, I love having, and our system is so unique in that we get perspectives from from a campus-driven model. We get it from an employee perspective, and also from a functional way. That being said, it's a very complex system. But as people often remind me, we are a complex organization. So a complex organization should have a system that allows for multiple voices at the table. I expect, I think the end of that question is that what was the last part of the question? What do I expect to, while you pull that out, I'll just have.
What do you hope are the next steps in its development?
I think the continued maturation of the system, we still have to have a substantive conversation about how things what things get into the system and how it gets in. We're still trying to figure that out. Trying to coordinate schedules, I understand that to be a big challenge. Understanding very thoughtfully about how we ensure that the information and decisions that are made in those councils get out to the college community, and that the college community solicits and gives feedback to it. That to me is a natural maturation as a part of this conversation that we have to have. So that to me is an important thing. But I have to tell you, I think it's pretty darn good. Are there areas for improvement? No doubt. I think I told you all in this first year was going to be a hot mess. I think I may have said that. Maybe it's not hot, but it has been in some areas lots of improvement. But I think we're going to continue to see that. And maybe in 5 years, we'll be able to sit down and say, you know what, this actually was something that we had to go through that. That was a part of the journey.
Any questions in here? All right, this is from one of your most frequent questioners.
Okay.
Julie Foster.
Hi, Julie.
What is your plan for prioritizing the changes needed at Montgomery College? How do we pursue our goals with a sense of urgency, recognizing the need for change in many areas, while proceeding in a planned manner and retaining some of the strengths that have made our institution so successful? How do we maintain the sense of urgency and plan progress that we have so many changes we can't control happening at the same time, like employee turnover, sometimes in key leadership positions, external factors, and even changes in education itself?
I do love Julie, because that is the crux of the issue, right? So I think about this a lot, and I actually, over the last month, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about change management in a very different way than I had been. And part of that had to start with me. And I told someone, it hit me the other day, I realized that I am very comfortable with change. And I had to figure out why I was. I think, was I sharing this with you? And I said, those of you know, my mother died when I was very young. And as a result of that, my psyche has always been know that change occurs. Life happens. So had a very unstable, to a certain extent, childhood, but that was a part of what happened. You adapted to the change. It's a part of it. So for me, stagnation is something I'm like, I don't get. I don't understand how that works. So I'm very comfortable with things changing because I expect it to change. That's how life has been. So I kind of had to do that self-work. You know, I've been doing my life, what Oprah call it, my life lessons or life, whatever it is, she does in her own thing. So I've been doing the work, trying to figure out what the work is internally. Okay, where am I in this, right? Now the next part of this thing is to think about how does that work in an organization such as Montgomery College, right? An organization, I love now when people stand up, I'm comfortable with change. They'll start off with that statement, then say, but, yada, 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 right? So I'm focusing on I'm starting now. Before I would focus simply on the but part of the question, but I'm going to start off now focusing on I'm comfortable with change question, because now I want to start to unpack what that really means when I'm comfortable with change. I mean, that's a very thoughtful response, but what does that really mean? So I'm starting to do the work with people individually when they say that with me. Let's unpack that. What does that mean for you? What does change look like for you? Why are you comfortable with change? If you're telling me you are, help me understand why you're comfortable with that. And the next part of that is going to be then, let's figure out the other part about that. So that to me is that self-work that I think each and every one of us has to do as a part of any change process. But then the other part for me, and this is, I've also been doing a lot of reading on design thinking, how do you start to think about the way in which you design change? How do you think about change management in a very deliberative process? I had a friend of mine who worked for a major corporate 500 company, and I asked him, I said, his job was simply change management in the organization. That was his job. And I said, what is that? He said, well, we're going to implement this new software system. He said, my job, 18 months before we implement it, is to plan it out and to be thoughtful about the internal messages, the external messages, the way in which what we call the system, how we train people in the system, how we reward and incentivize engagement. And I was really kind of struck by that. And I'd forgotten that conversation until this year. It's really been in my mind. So I think going to Julie's question, Mike, is that I'm going to spend the next, really over the next couple of months, I've been doing a lot of thinking, but how do I approach this next academic year with that in mind? If we know we have these things going on that folks have to respond to, how do we plan for them in very thoughtful ways? But the other part of it, which is the other part of our question, there are things that happen that we can't plan for, right? So how do we begin to develop a culture, an appetite for the things you can't plan for? I don't know how you do that, but I'm gonna spend my time thinking about that. And probably the last part of it is to have a little bit more fun with it. I said that last year, but I'm coming to that opinion more, that we do great work as an institution. We do phenomenal work. We are helping people transform their lives. We do that on a very everyday basis. But this is the type of work that should be of joy. It should bring joy to what we do, how we do it. The journey may be a little struggle sometimes, but the end there should be joy. I want to reclaim that joy and make sure that we're doing that. So those are some of the things I think about when I hear Julie's question, and I'm hopeful that all of us over the next couple of months will be spending time thinking about it. It's my summer project. It's my summer project.
Thought I saw somebody with their hand up back here.
Good afternoon, Dr. Pollard.
Good afternoon.
I'm Jackie Maffey. I work at the Rockville campus. A couple of things about change. Would you address a little bit your views about civility in higher education, the need for civility? The second thing is that I noticed that a lot of people got to go away recently to AACC, to Innovations, and that's great. And I had the opportunity to hear about or learn about some of the presentations. And one of the things that I kind of regret is that people go away and do great jobs, but they don't present here. And I think it would be great if either before they went that they could just do an informal thing where you could hear the presentations, or when they came back. So there's the dots don't get connected. And I just wanted to get your views about that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jackie. I would argue that second part is actually one of the biggest issues that are in higher ed everywhere. Every organization I've worked in, it's always been that conversation. How do we connect the dots? And the people who go away and get this great learning, how do we make sure that they bring it back to the organization? And a lot of organizations have thought about trying to put on their own mini conferences, and I think that might be a very good idea, and that's something I want to spend some time thinking about. And how do you ensure that that information gets out? I mean, that really is what it is. If you go someplace and hear this great idea, so literally all the sessions I went to, I have all these business cards and all these PowerPoint presentations. I've come back and I've been farming them out and say, oh, here's a great idea. I'd like you to follow up on that and see if it's something we can learn from as an organization. But to make sure that that's happening systemically throughout the organization, I think is a very important point. Your first question, what I think is very provocative about this, and this is, I'm learning to listen to the universe. You're probably the fourth person in a couple of weeks that have said something to me about civility. Actually, the last administrators meeting, we had a whole conversation about the need for greater conversations about civility and how to be a more civil organization. And that's a need, and we're trying to figure out how to address it. We actually have a couple, I'm looking at a couple books we might read together, a speaker that might be good for that. But what does it look like to be in an organization where civility is not just expected, it's the practice norm of what we do? What does that look like? And maybe what I'll start is maybe a series of conversations with people about that. Just kind of coming into the room, what does it look like? Because when I hear people talk about some of their experiences with their colleagues, it makes my heart hurt. It's when Miles is having a bad day, like he came home on yellow or something, and I stopped telling him I'm disappointed. I told him, you made Mama sad when that happens. So, and not to say I'm being parental, but when I hear our colleagues talk about their interactions with some people, it makes me sad because I think we're better than that. It cheapens us. And I think part of what we do is we react. And because we got so much going on right now, we think it's okay, and we kind of put it out there because this, but the other part about it, to be quite frank, Jack, is that we haven't done the investment in the other stuff that makes it okay when I snap off every once in a while. It's okay because I had enough deposits in that emotional bank account, y'all know what I'm talking about, where it's okay. And I know I just took a withdrawal, but I had enough in there. but we haven't done enough to put the deposits in. So when somebody snaps off because they had a bad day that day, and all of a sudden you're like, well, they had a bad day yesterday, they had a bad day the day before. Matter of fact, they had a bad couple years. So, you know, there ain't nothing left there. We've got to figure out how that works as an organization. What are the code of conduct about the way we're going to have? And I think that's part of the work that came out of that common employee experience, because civility was a thread that ran through that. And I find it ironic that we have to talk about that, but I guess maybe that's my own ignorance, that we should have to talk about that very deliberately as an organization and what that looks like, because you've got all these stressors. You've got, you know, resource stressors. You've got employee stressors. You've got personnel issues. You've got this president coming in saying we got to do this. You've got the federal government saying you got to do that. We got now the state telling us we've got to look at student success in very different ways. All these stressors that are kind of nipping at you, and all of a sudden we haven't figured out that we haven't had the conversation about how we deal with it. And that creates internal stress. I know it creates it for me.
And I want it to trickle down to our students.
I agree. That's a very big one. And it's interesting to watch our students. Again, I think there's something about anonymity and what happens to us in a Facebook, what happens to us in Twitter, that we can kind of put things out there and don't have to have responsibility for them. Which is why people keep asking me, you know, why they want to do X, they want to make it anonymous. I said, no. It brings out the worst in us sometimes. Now, there are times when things have to be anonymous. We need to figure that conversation out. But if we can't have civil conversations about things, that's a problem for me. So thank you.
Any other questions in the room?
Well, this is your last town hall meeting of the year. When you look back this year, is there any kind of, among all the achievements you've made, would you consider one of them as I'm really proud of this? And is there any item that you could not accomplish this year and you could do better? Anything like that?
Yeah, thank you. One is, I'm actually very proud of, and it's not my work, that we got the governance system up. That was an idea. It was a lot of hard work and preparation for it, but there are a group of people who are doing it and living it. 150 some people in our governance system, they're doing it. That's something I'm very proud of, and that we're bringing that voice to the table and bringing voices who've been muted in our system. We're actually bringing them to the table to have that conversation. That to me is very important. I'm very proud of that. I'm actually very proud of the fact that we are having, I just talked to Steve about this morning, we're having difficult conversations. Now, we haven't figured out the resolutions to all of them, but I think we're having the difficult conversations, and that to me is something I'm proud about. The work that they're doing in the academic reorg, I know that has been a difficult conversation, and that's just me living on the periphery, stepping in and stepping out. I know that's hard. I look at the work that happened with the whole budget and the chart of accounts. I mean, that was a lot of work that went into that. The common student experience work that's still happening in the student services. All of that, I take a lot. To me, it makes sense. Now, the thing I still want to figure out is the change management part of it. How do we manage that? I'm learning to just be for a minute and not to feel like I want to go in and kind of fix it, just kind of step back and let it happen. And that's a skill that I do not possess, but I am learning it, right? I'm learning that. I'm also learning, for me, to be uncompromising in the vision. Now, how we get to the vision is one thing, but to be uncompromising, because I believe we're doing the right work. How we do it is what's going to define us as an organization. Yeah. And I want to have more fun. I don't say that facetiously. I say that there should be joy. There's a great gospel song. It talks about don't let somebody steal my joy. That's the thing. And there are moments when you see people who try to encroach upon your joy. They remind me in the Harry Potter, the Dementors, right? They want to steal your joy. Because that's really what it is. And if you read Harry Potter, they're stealing your joy. But I love the fact it was written by a woman. The only thing that can cure them afterwards is eating a piece of chocolate. So I think that there is something about that. How to fight the Dementors. That's all I want to say.
Well, Dr. Pollard, we have run out of time for questions. That was a quick hour, but we wondered if you had any closing remarks since this is your last town hall meeting of the academic year.
Well, I was asked somebody, I think you asked me earlier, are we going to do this again next year? I said yes, we're going to continue to do them. I've learned that, one of the things I've learned, is that I'm my own best prophet, so I have to do the talking myself. No matter how many 15 people I have as surrogates to talk about an issue, people want to hear it from me. I think part of it is they're looking for consistency. So for me, if I'm going to say it here, now it's caught in the Ethernet or whatever it's going to be caught in, it's going to be there. So for me, I think that's a validating experience. So I'll continue these. I think it's a good thing, and we'll do them next year. And always accept your feedback about ways that can be improved or things that we can be thoughtful of. And I thank you all for choosing to be here. I know you missed your lunch. I missed mine as well. I hope you go back and take care of yourselves and do that. And get through the rest of the semester with civility and with grace. With grace. Because now it's going to be hard. The next 3-4 weeks are going to be hard. Let's do it with civility and grace. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Pollard, and thank you to all of you here in the room and online for watching today's town hall meeting. You can follow the live Montgomery College live web events at new.livestream.com/Montgomery College Live. You can check out that site for all the information about upcoming Montgomery College live web events. You can also check out the college's YouTube channel at youtube.com/Montgomery College, and there you're going to find hundreds, literally hundreds of hours of programs and Montgomery College events, Montgomery College sporting events, all kinds of things. So please check out our YouTube channel. And once again, for Dr. Pollard, everybody on the MCTV crew, we thank you so much for joining us at today's town hall meeting.